welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. And Andrew, I think everything's running pretty smooth. Do you have any sponsors?
I'm finished with my pictures, but I got a sponsor for sure. I got Carl's Thrifty Way. If you're looking to get your medicine prescriptions filled, Carl's Thrifty Way can do that for you. They've got time to work with you.
And is accepting new customers.
You got it. And they will sit with you and explain to you if you've got any questions about your medication. They can help you with that. If you're taking more than one and you find that it'd be a lot easier if you could take just one, he can sometimes compound those multiple medications, make it easier for you to take. It's not something you can get just anywhere nowadays. So it's a good service to try out there. Over-the-counter type stuff, very, very well stocked and all of that. Contact lens solution, I always said, you know, people are always fighting with that kind of stuff. You can get all that right there at Carl's. Home decorating ideas, gifts, gift wrapping, monogramming, they do all that type of stuff there as well. Go by Carl's Thrifty Way.
Okay, that was you have one more. That was your last.
I got
one.
him. I'm on the ball.
The championship. I guess you'd call it the Indian Hills Club Championships were held this past weekend, and five-time winner, club champion in the championship flight is none other than Logan LeJack.
How do you like that?
Sonny and Kim's young son. Just bangs them away for 5 years in a row, and the championship flight runner-up was Jack Tolson II, and the ladies club champion is, and the first flight gross champion is Dottie McDonald, and can't say that I know, but I know Jill Swallow, who was the first flight net champion.
There you go.
So the Indian Hills Club Championship, and with that championship goes a parking privilege, and the sign's already been changed. Once someone walked in, we ate lunch there yesterday, and someone had walked in and wondered why the so-and-so's spot was taken by another vehicle, and of course they quickly learned that the new champion's name had already been put on the sign, and new parking spaces. So a little something to kind of just add a little excitement. But the Indian Hills Country Club is good golfing, good facility, and of course they're good to us because they host host our Santa breakfast at no charge to us, and go out of their way to make sure the tables are set up the day before, and 2-hour design and acceptance, and I mean, and no charge to us whatsoever. Just like the chefs cook the food and all, they bring the food, no cost to us. Everything is free.
The Opelousas Area Cerebral Palsy Clinic. You can see the address on television right now. P.O. Box 70. If you'd like to send a donation, the best way, if you want to get on our mailing list, the best way to do it is send a little donation on that check, and your check probably has your mailing address, and I'll send you the invitation to the breakfast this fall, that first Wednesday in December.
December, yes sir.
Which is this year. If you want to mark your calendar right now, I'm going to tell you, it is going to be the 4th of December, so mark your calendar. We'll have the breakfast.
Early in the year, and that's one of the largest methods that the clinic has operated with fundraisers such as this, and at the same time they do not charge, have never charged, will not charge for any services to any of the patients that are treated there, and that's over 60 years this facility has been in operation.
And remember that historically, 60 years ago, what you did if you had a child with cerebral palsy is you took them and you dropped them off, and the state took care of them because you didn't have the facility to try to help this child survive. And the Cerebral Palsy Clinic, what it did for these kids was give the opportunity for the parents better, get them therapy, allow them to stay home where you could actually help these kids have a good life.
I see where our St. Andrew Parish Sheriff, Bobby Gitros, is congratulating Detective Anthony Robert on medaling, and that's winning medals with his 2 feet racer, and has done so on a worldwide platform, and has won practically every type of championship that he attended and competed in. And he's decided to hang up his shoes. And you said he went to college on
at Southern. Yeah, he was a great track star at Southern.
I missed that part.
And he's, I mean, the photo of he and the sheriff, they're both covered with medals, and that's because he don't have enough neck to put all those medals on that he won himself. It's not the sheriff's medals. You know, the sheriff might be fast, but I think it's in the patrol car. I don't think it's on foot. Good morning, Sheriff.
Yes, and Anthony, we're proud of you. The community is proud of you, and you can go around, and please do go around to the various schools like I'm sure you have already been doing, but keep it up, because the youngsters look up to people like yourself a lot more than you probably realize. Take it from somebody on the outside, as an outsider.
Us oldsters too look up to a guy that can do all that, you know, do the great work, keep himself physically fit, and do the great work he's doing for crime.
And talking about racing, on your 2 feet, Usain Bolt has dazzled them again. He does that little deal to shake them all up, but he somehow or another he continues to break in.
And it's odd, he's so tall. That's what doesn't make much sense. Is most runners are thick and compact and smaller. He's just so tall with that long stride. It's so unusual.
And talking about racing, this particular person races in cars. And unfortunately, Tony Stewart, better known as Smoke, by his comrades in the NASCAR racing industry, on I think a Monday night, he went to one of these little small tracks that he just happens to own and got into an accident, and he's been knocked out with a leg injury for the rest of the season. So that's a good picture of him right here. He was one of the bad boys early on, and just recently, probably the last 3 or 4 years, he did take his helmet and he threw at a person that was making a circle. He had gotten out of his car and he took his helmet off, and he got out on the track and threw a helmet.
But you notice he doesn't fight as much. It's funny what ownership will do for you. Get you a little more mature.
But NASCAR, of course, is coming down to the end, and might just have 1, maybe 2 more to qualify of who will actually be in the championship run. There'll be 12 that'll compete for the champion, and it's very interesting. We've got some young racers that are doing real well. And talking about races, it's a crowded field for the 5th District congressional race that's going to take place, what's that, in October?
I think everybody got shocked at not only how many, but all who got in it.
And who got in it. Even a person that we had become close to when he was a congressman, and I'm speaking of Clyde Holloway, from, what's the little place he's from?
Forest Hill.
Forest Hill. And he kind of threw a little bombshell there when he came out. And it'll be interesting to see if he's going to really get out and push like he used to push, because he takes everything serious, and he's very popular. And
helped a lot of people in this parish.
And there was some hanky-panky, or that's what he kind of indicated when he made his announcement. That's why he came out. He didn't like the way things had come down or was falling in place. So we bring this out. You've heard some of this already on your own, and cracking the code. And we're not talking about cracking the code to break into a big bank or anything. We're talking about cracking the code to be able to successfully work the Tuscaloosa shale's complexities. And they have a picture here that is really, I showed you that picture earlier, really a great picture of probably somewhere within 50 miles of Opelousas here.
They cut that pad whenever they work. They lease just what they need, and they cut that pad, and they pay for every inch of that pad whenever they drop that rig down.
Yep, and of course, the leasing that has taken place across the Tuscaloosa region has really brought in a lot, millions and millions of dollars to the landowners that are affected in this particular area. And it reminds me of Mr. Wallen Myers' well. He was one of the first, had one of the first Tuscaloosa wells in our Acadiana area.
Because it was so deep, no one had really gone that deep before.
That deep, and they never could control it. It had sulfuric acid in it, as I remember. I'm not a
sulfur for sure, some kind of sulfur that was eating up things.
Eating up the pipes, and eventually the well was shut. But they're going to go back into that same area and do the fracking now, and it's a new method, and they can turn the drill bit and go as far as a mile on a horizontal method after drilling down maybe 10,000 feet. Then they go sideways another mile, 5,000 feet.
What made that area so unusual, it was a geographical oddity in that most of the wells in this area had been drilled into the Wilcox sand, which is a shallow sand. And when you hit the Palmetto area, Wilcox is on the shallow part and Tuscaloosa is underneath. So you could drop two wells on the same property, one short, one deep, and drain out of two different reserves. So real interesting.
And we're talking about comebacks. The Fontenot hatchery reopens.
That's right.
Over in Vidrine, Louisiana.
They will be hatching more Fontenots in Ville Platte, right? Is that what that's about?
You are invited to join us,
okay.
And that took place at the Fontenot hatchery on August 16th and 17th. Very, very interesting.
Percy Fontenot and family.
And family, you bet. Mr. Percy, of course, is a legend. He is a legend in his own time. He had a ticker machine,
ticker tape
machine over at the Fontenot hatchery. When people hardly had even thought about buying stock, he was able to buy his stock online. That's how far advanced that particular Mr. Percy Fontenot is, or was, and still is for that matter. Good luck to the reopening, and be a good little place for us to go one Saturday morning and make that visit with the Fontenot family.
I eat chicken.
And by the way, I didn't get a report today, but late yesterday afternoon, Don Stemmons called me and told me, advised me that J.Y. Swallow, one of my very first horse trainers from Ville Platte, Louisiana, was in critical condition in the hospital in ICU. And so I don't know, I didn't get any message today otherwise, but please say a prayer right now. When you hear this, or if he's already deceased by the time the show plays tomorrow morning at 7, well, I'm saying please keep J.Y. Swallow's family in your prayers.
How about you start finding your prayer book, get down to that last minute. Happy birthday, Malcolm Mesh from Port Barre, Louisiana. I think it passed about a day or two ago, but we'll wish him a happy birthday now.
Every program, we like to close it by asking our friends to consider attending the church of your choice. And Andrew and I kind of look over a little thought, or maybe you could call it even a prayer. Today's prayer says, Lord, you know my weaknesses and my faults. Give me the strength and piety to serve you with faithful love, even when this is difficult for me to do. Thank you for viewing. Tell a friend. If you have any good news to pass on to all of your friends around the world, we'll do it on the Bobby Dupre Show. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.